I'm walking, oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for
Great ride, is it, y'all? Thanks for coming on the walk. Let me make sure these cameras are. Get your mat, get your chair. If you're sitting down, kicking your feet.
Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Yes. Great ride, is it? Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin.
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
Everybody ready? Let's get this party started right. Every day and every night. Look at my fun earrings. I couldn't think, you know what? I was like, I'm wearing my Stacey Abrams shirt, manifesting governor, manifesting governor, because I want to go to Georgia. I figure I got 4 years if she get in, because honey, whew, damn, whew. I think I got, when she gets in, I think I got to go the first 2 years, because those angry racists will still be in shock. They'll still be in shock. They'll be denying it. No black woman is the governor of my state. I come from the land of cotton, when I used to just rape black women at will. There's no law against me doing that. I could kill them. I could do anything. And now here's this woman governor. So it's going to take them about 2 years. And after those 2 years, like President Obama, but he did 8 years and it was real mad. But they started getting mad by his second year. Whew. So I'm trying to plan my Georgia time, because there was something else I was thinking about. I was like, yeah, I want to go to Georgia for that too. I did Black Wall Street just to try to find my sister, just to see her and see the kids. Yeah, sit outside the house and stalk. I don't know them. I really don't know them. So they're like, oh, hi, I'm Yarn. And my nephew's 42 years old. Who you? I'm the bastard that your grandfather had. They were supposed to stay in the background. Yes. And I was told very little about y'all. Matter of fact, when I asked the question to your grandparents, They wanted to know why I wanted to know. What I was going to do with the knowledge. So I got to the point I was like, whew, I ain't asking. So I never asked. And we got along just fine. Your grandparents loved it like that. We talk politics. We didn't talk family. We talk politics. Safer. You know? I wasn't married. I wasn't under the thumbnail of a man. And then I was a bastard. And I was living out here by myself. So I had to be a prostitute or a drug dealer or something. I just couldn't be an aspiring writer that was happy to be back in New York trying to get her stuff together and knew exactly how I was on the prize, what she wanted. It wasn't that. I lived in Greenwich for 10 years. And my sperm donor and his wife, my stepmother, never came to Greenwich. Spoke to me every week, but would not come. I would say, come, we can go on the ferry, you know, the Greenwich ferry. We can do this, we can do that, we can go picnicking, we can go here, I can pick you up, whatever. Wouldn't do it. Would not do it. So when I moved out of Greenwich to Mount Vernon, and then finally they came to see me. But I found out years later, even that was tainted. Because they told the rest of the family the reason why they were visiting me is because I needed money. So, so that's why I don't know my nieces and nephews. Apparently, the only time they only came to see me once in Mount Vernon. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe twice because my daughter had just gotten her new car, and we didn't think there was an alarm on it because they didn't tell her there was an alarm on it. So we were panicking because we were in Mount Vernon, car theft capital of the world at that time, second to New Jersey. And we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to keep the car safe. So my father told us to go out and get a bunch of chains and wrap it around the steering wheel and go and wrap it around until we were able to find the brake steering wheel lock. But we didn't have no money like that. The chains was cheaper. And I think, because we didn't have phone cameras, I think him and my stepmom did come up to look at the car to see how we had everything threaded and done through. Because my sperm donor's theory was thieves want to get in and out. That they don't want to mess around with no chains. So when they see all the chains and from the brake to the gas, they're going to go past your car because they're not doing all that. And I'm like, what? It would just take some wire cutters and the chain would drop to the floor. But he was right. Her car was safe until we saved enough money to get that steering wheel lock. So I think he came up for that, to check on that. But even that wasn't told to the family as, oh, Vicky's daughter got a new car. And it didn't come with an alarm. So she wants us to go up and see how she's wrapping the steering wheel and stuff up. Nope. The story was, we got to go see Vicky because she needs money. Isn't that something? Tainted the whole experience. Couldn't just tell the truth. Vicky's daughter just got a new car. But no, that would make me look too good. It wasn't happening. So they had to come bring me money. Probably me and Dave were doing so horrible. We was probably eating on the side of the street and stuff. I was probably on 42nd Street selling, what did they call that? The diamond? Selling diamonds. On the street corners. Isn't that something? So that's why I don't know my nieces and nephews. Because I had to keep that perception of the down on the luck, dumb art out there because I'm not married. And my father has a Muslim background. So if I don't have a man there stomping me down, and I was out there doing it by myself, yeah, I had boyfriends. We was mutual. My father didn't believe in mutual. He believed in male dominance. So since I wasn't being dominated by a man, I was doing real bad. To let all my sisters and everybody know that women don't do good if they're out here by themselves. I was living in Greenwich, Connecticut. Don't worry about how I got there and how I stayed there, but I was. Yes, indeed. But I don't even think the family knew I was living in Greenwich, Connecticut. Because as a single woman, that would give me, in their mind, some kind of credibility. So they never visited, never did anything the whole time I was in Greenwich, Connecticut. Didn't come for any of my daughter's graduation. Didn't. Because that would say to my nieces and nephews, oh, your single artist out here, she's living her life. She's up there, come on, let's go visit. Let's see the culture. Let's see how that other half live. Now, I mean, I wasn't living there. I was just living in town where the other half lived. Wouldn't do it. Would not do it. Y'all see my fun earrings? I used to go, I just don't know how to keep it in the front. Okay, here we go. Here we go. My fun earrings, I wake up and say, oh, wow, what am I going to wear? So I use the gold to match the purple because maybe Joe, when she does the virtual tour, she'd have some purple in there for me. I like purple. So that's what I want to go to Georgia for. So I can just look at them. I was like, I won't touch them. I won't touch them. I won't speak to them. In case Elijah come and get me. How dare you show them that a single woman can make it on her own? How dare you? Because both my sisters are still married. And my father probably attributes to the fact that he kept me away from them. I was a single girl. They were married. We have nothing in common. They were married women and I wasn't. See how always they keep separated? Bastard, separation. Single parent, separation. That's what all these cults do. But if I had a kidney they needed, wouldn't be no separated. Had some money they wanted, wouldn't be no separated. But because I don't have those things, the cult rules apply. C-U-L-T rules apply. And I never got to meet my nieces and nephews because cult rules was in place. A single woman, and if I'm around my sisters who are married, I will definitely poison their minds If the husband is hitting them, I'll say, I'll cut that nigga in the shreds if he put his hands on you again. They don't want that. Oh, excuse my French. I did use the A. N-I-G-G-A. And they didn't want that. If the husbands was beating them up, that was their business. They take the punch. My stepmother, listen, I only watched her take 2 punches, and I was out there because I was looking at that man like, you got one more time. I'm 15. You was 14? You got one more time to put your hands on her, and I'm going to juvie jail. And next thing I know, my grandmother was here to pick me up, to take me to the cult land. Worst time of my life. So, I don't know them. So I want to go. Stacey Abrams become governor. I want to go so I can just find out. I'll hire a private detective. I'll come up with the money somewhere. Manifestation is the bomb, okay? So, get a private detective. We'll find them. Because I'm not asking my sister. I'm not asking my family. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let what is in place stay in place. I don't know y'all. But I was raised with my sister for a couple of years, and I know she's there. And I don't know, I just want to see her. I just want to see the kids. And then I'll tell the driver, just drive off. And that's it. I will not tip the apple cart. I will always remain to them the single aunt who was in desperate need of money all the time. And the reason why I was in my situation is because I didn't have a man around to beat me up. So, I'll let him stick with that story. It ain't hurt nobody. But, so that's why I want to stay safe. But there was something else. It came to me, it was like, Vicky, this is in Georgia. And I was like, wow, that is in Georgia. But I can't think of it right now. But I want to go there too. Now, I ain't going up in them hills and hollows, honey. Where Mount Aubrey is, I ain't going in them areas. Where they shot and killed Mount Aubrey for running through their neighborhood, I ain't going there. I ain't going up in the hills. I ain't going up in the hollows. I ain't going too many places where they say there's a lot of African Americans in Georgia. So I should be seeing us everywhere I go. And that's the only places I'm going. So I want to get out. So y'all come on. I've been donating since the start of the year. I've been scraping that money out and sending it. I want to go to Georgia. Something else. Okay. Black Wall Street. Oh. Not. By then, Miss Nicole should be down there. Her family. Okay. Miss Nicole's the one I talked about with the ice skating. Roller skating. And working out with me. The best gym partner. Ever to grace the earth. But I call her Miss Nicole because my daughter had a supervisor named Nicole. So we always knew her supervisor Nicole. So when I met at the daycare center my Nicole, we call my Nicole Miss Nicole. And it's very funny because when we're out, and she's younger than me, and we're talking, she said, so, Vicky, and I said, yeah, Miss Nicole. And you can see the person's face like, is she supposed to be calling you Miss Vicky? But I don't call her Miss, yes, out of matter of respect, especially at the daycare center. But I call her Miss Nicole to separate from Nicole, my daughter's friend. So she'll be moving down there. Her daughter, her sisters and stuff already down there in Georgia. And we're roller skating. So when she leaves to go to live in Georgia, and I go down there for a visit, we can go roller skating. I mean, I wouldn't be staying with her, but I'm just saying we can meet up and go roller skating. So, y'all come on. Y'all get Stacey Abrams in, because I'm ready. And there was something else in Georgia, too, I wanted to see. Dang! Not the alligators. Not the gators. Not the cake. Whoo! Not them folks up in the hollers. I would ever want to meet them. Whoo! Let's see. It'll come back to me. You know, it was something like, you know how Motown has, no, how Detroit has the Motown history. It could be something musically related. Then I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get to Georgia to see that. It wasn't the drag shows, but I sure am going to catch a couple of when I go down there. I'm going to try to catch a couple of up here next year. I can't remember. And it's almost time for us to take our water break and such. Do y'all see? Jeerings makes your heart sing. And this is the gold, so it kind of matches. Gold, gold. Gold, gold. Gold. And y'all have a governor that's coming through that's going to be gold. Because she going to figure it out. And y'all know that them white men's going to be coming at her like you would not believe. Okay? And I'm talking about dirty low down. We done seen them. The same the same blood that kept your ancestors enslaved for all them years is that same blood that's going after Governor Abrams.
Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company.
FB was trying to say I stole this music. I was complimented. I didn't think anyone would think that I was still. You know, I thought they'd say, yeah, this song doesn't sound like she made it up. But FB said it sounds so good. It couldn't belong to somebody else. I'm proud. I'm honored.
Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me, I'm walking.
Oh, I gotta get a tissue. FB says, oh, that music is somebody else's music. I said, well, who else's music? I leave the giggle at the end. I did so many things to let you know there's no way that is a professional song. I mean, professional for an amateur like myself, but not professional like a professional. So, let's go. Okay. Yesterday when I was talking to my cousin, it was so hard. Even when she started talking and I tried to get up a little gumption to go fast, I couldn't pull out nowhere. My legs, they felt like lead. And I kept saying, what is going on? I just couldn't get up. The giddy up didn't get up. I didn't got the giddy up. So I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on after the walk? I was like, and even going upstairs, my legs felt like lead. And I was like, what is... I forgot I had went roller skating on Monday. I thought it would hit me on Tuesday. But Mr. Cole said, which from her fall, she said, if I don't feel it Tuesday, I'll feel it Wednesday. And I was like, oh, get out of here, girl. So I'm scared to call. I got to call it a day because we got to reserve Eric if we're going to go back up on Monday. But I hope she's okay. But that was my lead legs. So that's the first thing I want to tell y'all. And let me get back to Virgo. Excellent, honey. When I went back in after the walk, the owner of the house had reached out to Virgo and said, what is she talking about? So that made me feel good that he had nothing to do with the date change. And then the Virgo, she was all in, she's like, I don't know. I have it down for February 1st, not the 5th. But nobody, I just read their conversation, that they're going to work it through. So we can all see that we're in unison. Virgo, homeowner, and moi. That's all. And I want to tell y'all something. Y'all always talk about, oh, black lady anger, black women, they get... No, we don't. No, we don't. We have, let me use an example. You're on a train, the train's swaying, and then you bump into me. I know, you say, excuse me, I'm like, oh, I know, no problem. I'll readjust. So if that happens to you again, you'll be able to miss me. Because I see you didn't readjust. So we're on this crowded train, it's going to happen again. But from my readjustment, when it swaggers, you coming across at me the same way to bump me. So then I'll say, well, I know it's crowded, but... And then, as they say, now next time I'm not going to be nice to you because I'm trying to get away from you. I know the train is crowded, but there's ways that you hold on where you don't got to fall into me. But I see now you're going to make that a thing. So by the third time you bump into me, I have to say to you for my own safety, because maybe you're a pervert, trying to get a feel, especially if it's a man, it's always some kind of shit like that. I'll say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get the fuck away from me. Why the fuck you got... See? But then they say, black lady, they don't realize first time, I said, okay. And adjusted myself. Where if you do again the train shake, if anybody bumps into me, it'll be somebody else. It won't be you. But you purposely going to make sure to slam in me. Say, oh, the train. So then I adjust myself again. I try to move, but the train is crowded. But I can move so that when it jerks back and forth the way you're going, I'm further back now. So you'll come like, miss me. I'm hanging like that, miss me. But no. You decide to bump into me a third time. A third time. And then I have Black Ladies Rage. I don't know how to talk to people. So I know that. When I see an African American woman going off, I know she has said, no, excuse me. No problem, no worries. And then the third time, because she wouldn't stop. So I'm going to come in there and say, oh, go someplace else. Go someplace, whatever it is, don't do it. Don't do it the third time. It ain't going to be good. And they call that Black Lady Rage. But that's how I struck right away. I want a refund. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing the con. Prove to me it's not a con. And they proved. I'm going west. I ain't get the email yet. So I'll see. But, and I'm going to be in that house that I have been in since I made the reservations in April. I'm taking a train across the country. And I have sat on that train, looked out that dining car, looked out my, what is it called, that living car, laid in bed, and watched. I don't know, the world speed by, or I speed by the world, or the United States. And I see that in my mind's eye. So I'm glad that that's back. I'm glad that Verbo responded to the owner. They're going to respond to me. And we're going to be there. I already got my suitcase halfway packed. I'm sweating, y'all. I don't got no fan on. None of the fans are on. Because I've been dry these past few days. And I haven't been getting out any toxins or anything like that. The whole point of me wearing all this stuff is to catch the sweat. But I gotta sweat. So, I'm doing that now. I just hate that the air is... I want more cool air because it's cool outside. So, I wanted to tell you all about that. Usually, if you see a black woman, just say, uh-oh. Why you didn't move away the first 2 times? Okay. Yes. So, y'all come on. I can't do nothing. I did my donation since January. Every month. I don't live in Georgia. I got peoples in Georgia. But, whew, let me tell you about this before I forget. I mean, what good is walking if I ain't gonna sweat, you know? So, y'all need to listen to this podcast called Murdoch Murders. And Murdoch Murders with Mandy. Just look for Mandy. And the other one is Murdoch Murders, something with Lady Justice. I'll know more. But Murdoch Murders with Mandy is fascinated. There in South Carolina, because my father's family is from that low country, as they call it. I think my grandmother and them are buried on Edisto, and that's part of the Murdoch family kingdom. But when I first heard about Alec Murdoch and what he had done, I've learned about him from the boat crash and blah, 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 blah. Now the wife dead, the housekeeper dead, all that kind of stuff. But they talked about how he was swindling the housekeeper out of money. Her kids out of money. The housekeeper fell downstairs, an old white lady, been taking care of them for years, but they treated like trash. And all of a sudden she falls down the stairs because of the dogs. 20 years, now the dogs trip her. And Alex says, this is all alleged because he's in jail now, but on so many things, not necessarily this, that he would help the kids get money. He would sue himself, and he uses, it's a whole RICO thing down there in South Carolina. So as I'm listening to this, deep inside I said to myself, he didn't just start with white people. He had to been getting away with this a long time before the housekeeper. A long time. And instinctively, I knew he had been ripping off African Americans, or as they call themselves, black people, or low country. I don't even think, let me tell you something. These people are so uneducated. They're going back to over 100 years of living in that same area. Either the family owned the farm or still sharecropping. No education. No running water. No nothing. Just like when they were in slavery times. And when the politicians want to win a vote, they go into those areas. And they register those people and they get them to vote Republican. And they live back there. They hunt. Like there are Native Americans and Amish people who are more advanced than these black people. They are still, can you imagine? Now, South Carolina has a lot of black people, but the majority of them, they still living in a different time, in a different era. No running water is okay for them. Women are, them folks, the man that Alec Murdoch stole the money from because his wife was in an accident with, I don't know, UPS or something, somebody. And they got a lot of money. And Alec kept all the money. And they spent it all. He has no money to this day. It's never coming back. He's never getting a dime. And soon as with the housekeeper, I said, no. He's been doing this to black people long before he got to the housekeeper. And come to find out, yes, he has. You got the badges, you got the picnics. Them folks get hit by a big company vehicle and don't expect to see no money. They know it's lawyers and something involved, but they don't expect to see no money. So Alec and his cohorts, they take it all. Then there was two little white girls. Yep. Took all their money too. They struggling. They done spent it. They're never getting it back. Never getting it back. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. He had been doing it to African American or blacks so long in South Carolina and getting away with it. Just up there in it. They just moved down. It's a little tiring. You know, it's tiring being taking candy from a baby. You want somebody who knows that the candy is being taken away. These people in South Carolina, they are so, and their way of thinking, you know, like the white man is best. If I get hit by a car, the white man gets all the money. They never thought that they would have any money from it, or they would get anything. Millions was left to the husband because the wife was killed, and they had like 6 or 9 kids, and the money was left for the 6 or 9 kids. And Alex Atlantis in the papers on my Facebook, he stole all their money. 1.6 something million, all of it. But them kids, the people didn't know how to read. They didn't know what they were signing. And that's why they want to keep them dumb. They had no idea. Let me tell you how far removed they were from anything. Up here, you got hit by that girl, you gonna get some money. You better not down there. Down there they say, well, God got you out alive. And I said, God got us out alive, but we got money, right? The white man said we got money, and they said, no. That's the white man money. You got hit, but that's his money. That's it. So now I know why Texas don't want no education. Could nobody read? Nobody could read. They went to court and everything. They had to because it was a big corporation. So they had insurance lawyers who know how to hand it. Just sign the check and hand it over to them. So they knew something was going on, but they had no reading and comprehension. So that's why Texas, Mississippi, all those states don't want education. Oh, things are coming on the wall. They don't want education. So they can do stuff like that. Come take your land, sign here. Oh, what's happening? Though you ain't got to read it. But it don't matter, he ain't got to read it. He can't read it. He can't read. So the lawyers take everything. Take your land. Take everything. Because you can't read. And that's just the way they want it. So that's South Carolina. There's a group of African American, and they say it's a large group. Generation upon generation. Nobody reads. Everybody makes babies. And live off those little plot of lands in the lean-to or whatever it is. In election time, the Republicans run through. They can't read. And they used to tell them, they used to do what Master tell them to do. So that's another reason how Alec was able to get all that money from them. Because they're still under the enslavement era. If a white man said, give you all his money and you shut up, you give him all the money and shut up. They don't know that there's a law that says, no, that it's not like that anymore. Because there's no education in the school system. Education in the school system. There's no school system. Not for poors and I don't want to say African American, but they don't even know they until the Republicans come around for them to sign up for voting, I don't even think they know they're in America. I'm telling you, I was down there. I have some cousins that I still believe have have comprehension and reading issues. Comprehension and reading issues to this day. Ain't that something? So that's why they don't want education. Because you're able to reason and say, wait a minute, you can't steal my money. You can't steal my land. I'm not working for free. But that's only if you're educated. If your education is, God wants you to suffer and have nothing, then it was easy for Alex to come get that money. All he had to say to him, well, you know, Joe, you got the millions, but you don't know what to do. So God wants you to give them to me, give all that money to me, and I'll help you. And 100 years, like slavery has been on what, 150, 170 years? They still got generations that came from enslavement. So they're still under that fear. So all anybody got to do, any white people, I mean, you can come straight from Europe, go to South Carolina and fleece all them black people. Literally just tell me you Jesus and you just got back. And you can go down to South Carolina and make a mint. Make more money. More money, more money. You could take their land. They can't read. So I don't even think it's their land. I think a lot of them think it's their land. But it's not. They still sharecropping. The land belongs to somebody else. But they can't read. And that's what Texas and South Carolina and Georgia, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama. They don't never want them folks to read. You can't steal from an educated man or woman. They don't want that. And if they poor and you can't feed them, they're going to break the law. So then they're in prison and they work for free. Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, chain gangs build that whole state. Free labor. And then the government say you got to pay them 25 cents an hour and they got a law. I was told by Jimmy Chris I got that wrong. But from what I read, they don't want the prisoners to get paid nothing. To do all that road paving. Okay, like right now in Florida, the majority of the people cleaning up after the storm are inmates. And where they used to get a little something, now they don't even want them to get that. Ooh. Let's do this. We missed it yesterday. 15. Squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow. 15. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, sweating good. You know, I need that sweat, that rolls down between your shoulder blades, all the way down to the top of the crack. If I don't feel that sweat, then I have not sweated. And one just rolled down. I want that cool air to breathe in so badly, but oh, hurry up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Three's got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and one for good luck. Yes! Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for coming on, Facebook friends. I had in my notes, I was going to tell y'all how I used to have to walk a mile and a half to the train station and back. 3 years. That's what I think about sometime in the morning. Gulp and check, gulp and check. Okay, I can do this now. Whew, that air feels so good. Whew. I already showed y'all how much I had, right? I recycled, but look how the split is. Oh, you know what I meant to see? Someone said hi to me. Hey, Mark, Paul, thanks for coming on the walk. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Whew. That is good. Yes. Well, just a mile and a half. Y'all get out there. I want to come to Georgia. But, honey, I know racism. I ain't doing that. Poor M&T up here in the north catching it. You just never knew. Systematic racism in the north. Whew. Ugh. Ooh. If Southern racism is a dinosaur, Northern racism is a T-Rex. Whew. 10 M&T, a new a-hole. The president is an African American man. They were putting up advertisements. We help minorities. We support minorities. The minute I walked in the baking store, that I was like, M&T, these white folks get ready to tear you a new asshole. You never publicize that you give minorities a break. That's a part of the systematic racism of North. Never say that. You can do that, but never advertise it. M&T was saying, we are going to give minorities, women, the disabled, the loans for business, to step up to buy houses. And this northern systematic racism, T-Rex, has been chomping down on M&T's ass ever since. I knew it. I was like, and then when I went in the bank and one of the tellers had an African accent, I was like, oh, M&T. These racists, this systematic racism in the North is getting ready to tell you it's the South racist cousin in the North. But it's like the North is the psychotic, irrational, racist cousin. That is Ted Emmett T, a whole new asshole. Whoo! They even got Bloomy on it. And his choppers. But it ain't nothing. It's nothing that any other bank will go through. It's just that M&T made the mistake of saying, we give minorities bank loans and we support minorities. And these northern people, I know here in the state of Connecticut, they are going after them like the Ku Klux Klan after Martin Luther King. I remember standing there saying, why did you have to say, excuse me, you give minorities a chance? You can do it, but why did you have to say it? Now all the hate's going to be focused on you. And sure enough, like maybe a week after when the change went through, I just knew it. For like 2 months. Oh, M&T's coming. We're going to give everybody a chance. Minorities, women, disabled, anybody we want to help. This is the bank for the people. I first one to give my daughter a loan to get her car. Gave her good credit and everything. That was M&T. So I support them, but when I saw them came through, I was like, oh no, these white people gonna come get you now. Their whole focus is gonna be to get you. And they sure is. I mean, T, you could do that. And Lord knows it was great you letting minorities know that they can come to you. But I knew at the same time, it's you was putting a target on you by every white supremacist, racist, politician, any other bait, even people with the money that had their money at M&T. They had at People's First, and then M&T came over, and they pulled out claws. I was like, why you had to say that? And like I said, I'm happy that you said it. You let everybody know M&T is going to help you. You get it. You're a lady. You want a loan. You need a bank loan. You want to do business. M&T is there for you. I know that. I'm proud. But I know I'm from the old school, but you can't do that out loud. You got to go through like the black podcasters. You got African American podcasters. You got to go African American companies, African American influencers. You got to go that route. If you stand up and say, we're for minorities, we're to help everybody make money, everybody be successful. They had the little Asian guy chomp down on them. Now they got Bloomythal biting down on them. And it has nothing to do with the banking incident because People's Bank was probably a lousy bank before. And M&T is cleaning it up. But it's because they support minorities. And they are proud of it. You have to say, I support minorities. I wish I didn't have to, but I support minorities. Nobody would have bothered you. Or you have to do something like, we only give. We give minorities loans, but we give white people loans with a little bit of interest. And then nobody would have a problem. They wouldn't bother M&T. They would have came after M&T. Even though it would be unfair banking practices, don't matter. As long as white people get the break, it's fair practices. It's when we get the break that is unfair. Poor M&T.
Thank you for the company.
As I told you, my whole thing. Look at Raw. Raw is up. That orb in the sky is up. And the first one took a chance on my baby. So I know what they say is true. And I'm proud of it. But I knew that saying that would put a target on M&T's back. Let me tell you something. These T-Rex races, you'll learn why there are no banks with African Americans on the board, let alone president. Because we all find out why. White people finna make an example out of M&T. Either they're gonna have to, whatever minorities, they're gonna have to go through a clean out and get rid of all minorities, get rid of all minorities off the board and everything, and then Connecticut will be happy. But as long as they're, and especially that African American right as president of that bank, they ain't gonna stop until it's a bald-headed, big-nosed guy sitting there. And then that white guy, bald-headed, big nose, and then they'll be happy. Poor M&T. Didn't even know it was coming in the shark water. The race is here. So they'll probably want to place M&T with some kind of company that comes to and say, we'll make sure minorities don't get shit. And Connecticut say, we want that bank, we want that bank. They's coming on the walk. Stacey Abrams, ooh, Jerrings, make your heart sing. Thanks for coming on the walk. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.